Today, I'm going to show you how to make jalapeno poppers just like these.
Hi, I'm Caswell, and this is Caswell's Kitchen. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my personal favorites, jalapeno poppers. For this, you can use a different kind of variety of meats, but we're using specifically geese and speckle belly geese. You can use chicken, you can use steak, you can use all kinds of different kinds, but we're going with speckle belly geese today. First, with the geese, I shot this in my hunt, so we had to soak it in water for about 3 to 4 days. The reason we did that is because it kind of extracts the blood from the breast and kind of takes away some of the gaminess taste in the meat. Once you do that, you soak it in Italian dressing. We're just using Henderson's classic Italian dressing. It's a salad dressing. And the reason we're doing that is it gives it some flavor, but it really tenderizes the meat. We're also going to use some fresh jalapenos. You can get it from any local market. Some cream cheese for a filler. We're going to be mixing in the cream cheese with some regular cheese. We'll be using Kraft sharp cheddar cheese. Not any cheese you have to use in specific, it's just your personal opinion. Finally, we're going to be using some bacon. We're using center cut bacon. It's mostly meat, less fat, gives it a lot of flavor and a lot more meat. And then we're going to be using some Slap Your Mama to season our fresh jalapenos and our meat. Okay, now that we've set our oven to 400 degrees, while we're letting it catch up to its temperature, we're going to start talking about what we should be doing in the meantime. So, we've had these sitting out for about 45 minutes, as well as our meat. The reason we're doing that is because when it comes to room temperature, it makes it easier to kind of deal with. The reason we have the meat setting out is because when you bring it from the refrigerator and you try to cook it, it doesn't cook as evenly. So when you bring it down to the room temperature, it kind of gives the meat a more evenly cook. So first what we're going to do is we're going to get our cream cheese. We're going to open it up. We're going to pour that sucker in. Okay? Now that we've got that in, we're going to get our regular cheese. We're going to put some in as well. So now that you see we have this, we can start kind of mixing around everything in here. Okay, so now that we're done mixing our cream cheese and our cheese, we're going to put that aside. We're going to start with our jalapeno peppers. You're going to need a few things. A, you're going to need some gloves. I'll explain why in a second. Then we're going to need our jalapeno peppers, a sharp knife, you never want a dull knife, and a cutting board. Now the reason you see me holding gloves and wearing gloves is because while you're cutting the peppers, you're going to get a lot of the pepper juice on your hands. Now wearing gloves prevents from getting those juices on your hands and you touching your phone or your face and that burning your face later on down the line. So now we're going to start with what we're going to do to our peppers. Now that we have our pepper, we're going to start by cutting the cap of the pepper. Put that aside. We're going to cut it down the middle, lengthwise. Now we're going to start taking out the seeds, the middle, and the ribs on the side. The reason we're taking that out is because that's where most of the spice is maintained. So we're going to begin to clear out all of the insides of this pepper and hollow it out so we can place our meat and cream cheese in here. This is what you kind of want it to look like once you're done clearing it out. Okay, and now that we're just about done with clearing out our peppers on the inside, I'm going to grab this last one right here and finish cleaning out the insides and this little rib right here, the white part. Okay, and once we finish cleaning out all of that, we're going to come over right here and we're going to rinse out our peppers. And we're going to get to the inside and the outside. The reason we're going to do that is to make sure we got no seeds inside, and we're going to clean out the skin of the outside of our peppers. Once we finish with all of our peppers, like you see, we've cut all of our peppers. We're going to make our way back over to the table. And now we're going to begin to start stuffing our peppers. So with that, we're going to start lining up our peppers. Now we're going to grab our cream cheese and cheese mix. We're going to get a nice little scoop of that. Form it with how we're going to go. And we're going to lay it inside of the peppers that we've cleared out. So now we've finished stuffing our jalapenos with our cream cheese and cheese. We're going to grab our already pre-cut geese. We've made sure to cut them long and slender pieces so they fit nicely on top of our jalapenos. So we're going to go and we're going to put them on top of each jalapeno that we've already stuffed. And we're going to lay them out. Just like this. And now that we've finished laying our geese on top of our stuffed jalapenos, we're going to begin to season from Slap Your Mama. You want to make sure to season them over the sink because if you sometimes you'll spill a little bit, and when you spill, it becomes less of a cleanup when it's over the sink. So once we finish seasoning them, we're going to come on over. We're going to begin to wrap everything in our delicious bacon. You're gonna start off by grabbing a full slice of bacon. You don't need to cut it down or anything. You're gonna come to your jalapeno. You're gonna wrap it and try to cover as much of the meat and the cheese and the jalapeno as possible. Then we're gonna come over to our toothpicks. We have toothpicks over here soaking in just regular water. The reason that is because when we put them on in the oven, you don't want them dry because then they might catch on fire or just start to burn down. Then you're gonna grab our toothpick. You're gonna try to get to the middle of everything and try to catch all of the bacon. All sides of the bacon, like I've done here. You see it's come through the bottom, through the top, allowing the bacon and the meat to be stabbed and sturdy. Got it in. We're gonna move on to the process we've been all waiting for. We've been letting this oven preheat to 400 degrees. Now we're gonna simply slide them all in and let them cook. You wanna let it cook for about 30 minutes or until the bacon is fully finished. We can get started on taking our food out of the oven. We've all been waiting for it to see the final product, see what it's gonna look like once we finish cooking this delicious meal. Let's get to it. So, just a little advice or a tip. This type of cooking with skewers, it's called en brochette. It's a French term when you use your skewers to cook. So in here, these poppers look too good. Here we go. Woo! That right there. This is when the audience and all your friends at the Super Bowl party start getting rowdy and they want some appetizers. Now the last and final step is to make sure everybody at that party sits down and enjoys these delightful appetizers. Woo! It's all good. This might be too good to share. Well, I appreciate y'all watching the video, and yet again, thank y'all for coming to Caswell's Kitchen. And again,